I recently had an idea about something. Has the FNAF community impacted the series, whether in terms of the game creation or even the story? Is that possible? This is going to be a relatively short video. This is just kind of a fun thought experiment about whether or not the things that I will be talking about in this video are actually impacts from the community or just big coincidences. You all know FNAF, right? Not talking about the game series, I mean the YouTuber. This guy, John. Some of his very first popular videos were discussing times when Markiplier predicted the future of FNAF, and some of those points in those videos were very interesting. Some of them could not have been Scott taking inspiration, like Mark predicting the story of Ultimate Custom Night, since obviously he predicted it while playing the game when the story was already obviously created. But there's other moments throughout his playthroughs that are similar to this. There was a time when he said that it would be terrifying to play FNAF with a VR headset. He always called the puppet the baby, and when he was trying to say that he didn't want to wake the puppet up, he said that he didn't want to wake the baby. Not only did Baby actually become a character in the series, but in one of the teasers for Nightmare On in FNAF 4, when you download the image, it's named Don't Wake the Baby. Markiplier was also one to popularize the names Golden Freddy and Purple Guy, both of which ended up becoming their canon names with FNAF 2's Custom Night and FNAF World. Markiplier just says things and somehow they end up being canon, and it really seems like, while maybe not all of it, some of the things that Markiplier says in his old FNAF videos are like inspiration that Scott took when crafting the future of the series. But Markiplier is not the only one who's done something like this. Probably over a year ago at this point, I rewatched the playthroughs of the FNAF games by none other than Jacksepticeye. I really love Jacksepticeye's FNAF playthroughs almost as much as I love Mark's, but what Jacksepticeye said in one of his FNAF 1 videos is crazier than anything Mark said in his playthroughs. Watch this clip.
Hey! What's that? What's that? Someone stole your dog. I don't give a Stay out! Who gives a Nobody likes you, ducky.
Jacksepticeye said to Chica that someone stole her dog, but he does not care. Fast forward to FNAF 6 and the fourth closet, where we have Susie, the girl possessing Chica, and her backstory is literally that her dog died and William used this as an opportunity to kill her. And Jacksepticeye literally just said this on a whim before any of this was planned. This really makes me think that Scott does take into account the communities when he crafts the story. Maybe not to a massive extent, but we do truly have an impact. Another example comes from MatPat's first ever FNAF theory, when he theorized that the FNAF 1 protagonist was the killer of the missing children, and that he was basically trapped in eternal torment due to his demons. Nearly 4 years later, Scott releases Ultimate Custom Night, where the protagonist of the game is the killer of the missing kids, and he was basically trapped in eternal torment due to his demons. Is this really a coincidence or inspiration? And finally, we have the word of Scott Cawthon himself. Scott made a post a long time ago talking about the story, and he mentioned how no one truly solved FNAF 4, but if they had been able to, would they have been able to accept a story? Well, apparently not, because on August 8th of 2018, Scott said in his interview with Daco that because people weren't satisfied with the story of FNAF, he had to change the story, which affected the contents of the FNAF 4 box.
He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. The contents of that box have changed over the years because, it's for that very reason. It's because of what I was intending the game to be when it happened, and then after the reaction of it, I was like, I need to craft this into something better for the people who see this as important, and that kind of indirectly does change the contents of the box, because it changes the contents of everything that came before.
Listen to what I just said. Because the fans didn't like the story, he changed it. Some people, including myself in the past, have taken this as Scott telling us that Dream Theory was the original intention, and although I don't believe that to be the case, it could be possible. But either way, Scott confirmed himself that the fans do have an impact on the story. It's just a matter of whether or not this will ever happen again, or if MatPat, Markiplier, and Jacksepticeye's random statements, despite being incorrect at the time, were really inspiration for Scott, or just a bunch of amazing coincidences. But what do you guys think about all this? Is there another way the community has impacted FNAF that I didn't talk about in this video? Let me know, and if you did enjoy this decently short video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. But that's all, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys!